At least we won't get Warriors-Cavs 5. In fact, LeBron isn't even in the postseason, so there's a positive start. Please not the Warriors winning the championship. For the love of God, don't let it be the Warriors. So the Clippers aren't irrelevant, you say? They beat the Warriors not once, but twice. They overcame a 31-point lead, too? It must be time for me to eat shit, but the Warriors finally woke up and put the Clippers into an unbreakable sleeper hold. Despite being beaten, I will tip my hat to greatly exceeding expectations. And I hope you make it past the second round for once, so we can all shut the fuck up about it. Feels weird to laugh at the Lakers instead, but it honestly feels good, too. You know the basketball gods care not for the whims and fancies of Mormons. This series proved it repeatedly. No matter what you did, no matter the situation, the Jazz were always a move behind James Harden and his step-back threes. Donovan Mitchell just didn't have it, and it was on full display for all but one game of this series. That's the only highlight you'll get. The question becomes now, do you have enough? Utah has solid players, but will it lead them to a championship? Sadly, I doubt it. And the perennial award for most consistent disappointment in the NBA goes to, as always, the Thunder. You always keep thinking that this team will do better than they do, but then you realize that the coach just lets the players have free reign and it ends up costing them when the games really matter. Oh, you're consistently being humiliated by Damian Lillard and his Trailblazers who haven't won a playoff game in years? I think they can find a way to one-up that.
Lillard, long-range three, and it's good!
Don't worry, kids. The Thunder may have blown a sizable lead, but everything's okay. Russell Westbrook got his triple-double. Let's get one thing straight, OKC. You aren't winning a ring with Triple-Double Man. In fact, you aren't winning with Billy Donovan, yet you're somehow keeping him around. May I recommend you to Albert Einstein's definition of insanity? As weird as it sounds, I honestly expected this from the Spurs this year. A strong regular season, a competitive series against a team that they have a chance at beating, yet they just come up short. Doesn't help that DeRozan maintained his choking form from Toronto, but at least you can try to fight back. You gonna attempt to foul them, Spurs? Must be nice to just lie down and die in a pivotal Game 7. Why do I feel that Mount Pop is literally erupting as I mention it? Is this the new age San Antonio? Perhaps I can think it over as I wonder if LaMarcus Aldridge is past his prime. Oh, you're here? I'm supposed to be impressed by you making the playoffs? You know what? Just go over there. There may be some wannabe relevant franchises you can talk to in the corner. Detroit can even boast about their 14 straight playoff losses? Dear God, that's depressing. The Pacers have to be one of the most snake-bitten franchises in recent memory. It's a team that does everything by the book. They make smart moves, they build strong teams, yet it's not even enough to win a playoff series. On tonight's edition of Pacer Pain, the team loses their best player and emerging star in Victor Oladipo for the season. Somehow the team maintains form and finishes the year strong. It means nothing. They are routinely humiliated and plucked like a string by a highly dysfunctional Celtics squad. Indiana couldn't even win a game and were flat out exposed. It's just more rotten luck on a team that can't buy any. What a shame. I find ironic joy in the fact that the Nets, despite not having their first round pick in 5 years, have a stronger team than their in-city foe in the Knicks. Unfortunately, this means nothing as they can't compete with the Sixers whatsoever, despite a first game win. Everyone had a good laugh at Jared Dudley trying to size up Ben Simmons to no avail as D'Angelo Russell gets caught smuggling weed in an iced tea can. I guess you can call that their thought process during the last 4 games. Oh yeah, and there was a ref fuck-up, but that's pretty standard across every league. Maybe we should get the GM to charge into their locker room again. So you're not dead and irrelevant. You even won the first game of this series. Damn. Too bad they ended up losing their next 4 in the series in general, but I'll take it as a sign of progress. True, the Eastern Conference was weak as all hell, but at least there's life in this organization. Whether or not they are able to fully revive is to be determined. Just don't make a foolish trade for Serge Ibaka again. Please? It's sad when I'm honestly happier that the goddamn Warriors are advancing in the NBA playoffs over a team. Somehow, someway, the Rockets are more unlikable than a resident powerhouse that everyone wants to see fail. Let me put it to you this way. No Boogie, no KD, a visibly injured Iguodala and Steph Curry shooting like shit in the first half, yet you still can't beat the Warriors? Calling all holy deities, you're pathetic. I'm going to be blunt, I am completely fine with this iteration of the Rockets never winning a ring. All I see are a bunch of whiny shitheads who bait contact for fouls and flop at even a wind of resistance. For fuck's sake, they even audited last year's Game 7 because of alleged unfair reffing. Last I checked, it was missing 27 straight three-pointers that did you in. When are you going to finally blame yourselves for shit that's your own goddamn fault? Or just be like most of your team and not bother to show up when it matters? Holy shit, it's a fun and exciting NBA series featuring young, hungry teams, intense action, and likable personalities. There may be hope for this league after all. I wish I could say the same for the Nuggets, but you blew too many opportunities for it to happen. It started by being outdueled in that 4-overtime epic. It continued as you couldn't finish them off on their court for Game 6. There was even a strong start and 17-point lead for Denver in Game 7 at home, mind you. Then 16 straight missed threes happened. CJ didn't just shoot Jays, he shot the goddamn train. He was unstoppable and there was no one for you to counter. You'll probably be back here again, but I can't help but think that this was a blown opportunity. Not that you're not used to it. The chance at the quadfecta is dead. Thank God. Nobody in the civilized world would have been able to handle it for generations if it happened. Fortunately, someone was listening, even as the Celtics dominated Game 1. The talking heads theorized that Boston had a strong advantage. Hell, the unbiased Paul Pierce declared this series over, after one game, mind you. They would roll over and die. Too bad it was the Celtics that did, for 4 straight games. Milwaukee crushed a team full of infighting and total failure to achieve their potential just by not fucking up. I don't exaggerate when I say that Kyrie Irving may become the most hated Boston sports figure since Grady Little. He's a free agent, but I think the city will not only pack his bags, but drive him to the airport and stuff him onto a plane to New York. Can you stuff Paul Pierce with him too? The only good Philadelphian is a dead one. It may not be the greatest option, but horrifying agony and heartbreak is a good consolation prize for the rest of America. To have any chance at a deep run this year, Joel Embiid needed to be at full strength. Wouldn't you guess it, Embiid was nowhere near 100% for most of this series. His true form was sorely missed, especially thanks to the incredible inconsistency that was shown in all aspects of play. Even then, Toronto was dying to gift wrap a conference finals appearance by means of their own choking. Game 7 pain was yours to break.
Defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
Too bad they had a reverse guard. Wasn't it fun to go all in? Embiid has doubts about his durability. Ben Simmons may not be the guy. The depth is non-consistent, the draft pick hoard is gone, and your 2 big acquisitions will be demanding max contracts. Congratulations, you may have fucked your own process. Yeah, they are in the playoffs. It doesn't mean I can't laugh at these fuckers. You remember all the talk they made about how they were going to get Zion? Well, if they didn't drink copious amounts of mercury and trade the #1 pick for Anthony Davis. Fortunately, the basketball gods believe in karma.
The 3rd pick goes to the New York Knicks.
Just look at these reactions, man. All of their foolish ambitions just dead in an instant. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the cherry on top. Guess who got the #1 pick? The Pelicans! You were dreaming of Zion, Katie, and Kyrie on the same backcourt, but we all know how this is going to go. You'll get Anthony Davis after a massive overpay and max contracts to, let's say, Chris Middleton and Tobias Harris. Sounds ridiculous, but this is the Knicks. They always fuck it up. Sell the fucking team already, Dolan. At least you can comfort yourselves by saying you're not the Cavs, Suns, or Bulls. Portland, this has been an outstanding season that has had you defy all odds. Your owner suddenly passed on. Yusuf Nurkic suffered a horrific injury before the playoffs, his replacement fasting due to Ramadan, and many had you marked for dead. Such perseverance deserves a glorious reward. Getting your shit stomped in yet again by the Warriors, you're fucked, Mobile. And they run you over repeatedly. Try blowing double-digit leads of over 15 points each in 3 straight games, all in the second half, against a significantly injured Golden State team. You were our last line of defense against Warrior dominance, and you did that. Your chance to be the heroes we needed is long gone. Get back into the mosh pit with everyone else. So crooneth the delayed appearance of Damian Lillard and his band of "you're fucked." Remember when I said that this team was somehow going to take the piss despite the talent on display? Yeah, the Bucks took it to heart. And believe it or not, it was in extremely gruesome fashion. Everyone can agree that they enjoy cruising to a 2-0 series lead while burying any hope an opponent may have. After that tasty appetizer is delivered, it is then revealed that you have just eaten poison. As you wither and die on the ground, Toronto takes your lady and passionately fucks her on your corpse. 4 straight losses when all momentum was in your favor. The Greek freak turned into a Greek tragedy. He imitated Atlas having to carry the team despite not having the jump shot or free throw acumen to do it. I'd say you'd be back next year, but just like Game 6, you have a 15-point lead that you'll most likely blow. Malcolm Brogdon and Chris Middleton will be getting paid in the great efforts to ring chase. And Mirotic and Brook Lopez are gone as well. Antetokounmpo stands alone, as Kawhi stabs him in the back. At least the playoffs weren't ultra predictable this year. The East was wide open and there were some outstanding moments in many a series. That being said, what is the final? What a shocker. Warriors versus Raptors. Toronto didn't choke yet? That is a legitimate shocker. Despite their impressive run, Golden State will more than likely be getting KD and Boogie back sometime in the finals. There is a need to call on greater powers to overcome the lack of parity. Come, my friends, we must pray. Oh, most heavenly guardians of the hardwood, please do not allow the Raptors to be fucked. Guide the spirit of Kawhi to exact vengeance for the curse of Zaza. May their mascot not repeatedly faceplant on the floor throughout the series as it has always done. Let the threes drain with authority and the rebounds be plentiful. In the name of the Cutter, the Drake, and the Holy Masai Ujiri. Amen.